Hi guys, welcome to tonight's Cassiopeia Schooner Project report. I'm giggling at myself because I'm so used to the camera with only one way of looking that when I turn this thing back and forth, I start to turn it around and then I realize, oh wait, you just hit the button. And love you guys, sending it up there, getting it back. It's winter. See the little white thing up there pointing that way? And there's the tower over there, which is to the east of us. So that means that the wind is coming from the north. That means this is a northerly. That means it's cold. Time for the captain and the good ship to head south. At least pretty darn soon. So, we have some very exciting news for tonight's Cassiopeia Schooner Project report. I'm going to take you up to the bow so that we can check the anchors really quick, because that's what we seem to do a lot. Let's see, there we go, dink. See how they're going today. Where are they headed? Oh yeah, we're hanging on the... Okay. Yep, that's good. That one's out there. That's the Fortress. And it's right where it's supposed to be. And there's the Bruce, headed out that way, right where it's supposed to be. We've only got one little crossover without it actually being a wrap. Yay for us. Okay, I'll take you guys back inside and confide in the thing that happened that was really kind of exciting. It's not I hope I'm not, what is it about chickens before they hatch? But anyway, it's very, very exciting. But I have to say that tonight is a really beautiful night, because the thing about the north wind is that it comes over that, all of that land right there. So if you'll notice, there's no waves. There's no whack, 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 whack. And we're almost at slack tide. See how slow the bubbles are going by? So that's one of our nice moments during this. And, because I talk about the current all the time. And, man, it is a seriously bothersome thing here. So, anyway, right now, there's no current. And that makes it lovely. Okay, I'm going to take you guys inside. And, oh wow, I've got my chair all kind of set up all comfy so it doesn't look as cool as it should as a captain's chair, so I'll ditch that stuff. So, the good thing that has happened, the amazing thing that's happened, is I spent hours on the phone today, and there is a friend of mine from Vanuatu. And do you remember how I keep trying to talk about the fact that the people that are involved in this project from a long time ago, that have always been part of the boat, and all of those guys are the kind of people that are travelers, are expats. Many, many, many people, the core group that kind of got all of this started, are all expats, and if not expats, travelers. So they have a knowledge base about how things work. And in fact, one of my friends from Vanuatu was so empowered when he was there by everything that was going on. He was on my buddy's ship, Alve, the schooner, the tall ship that my buddy Evan, who has passed now, was doing projects there called Project Mark, and they were building clinics. And so my buddy was involved with that. And while he was there, he went and came back to the States and was so impassioned by everything he'd seen up there that he started a nonprofit in order to help in Vanuatu with some of the water issues and educational issues about water and about hygiene and about things like that. And he has contacted me and presented the fact that that entity is in place. And it could be possible that that entity could become our entity for making us become an international nonprofit. So he's discussing that with the attorney that helped him set it all up, and it's looking quite promising. So I'm very, very, very excited about that step taking a new level. I should have put my white shirt on for that part of the program. And, you know, it's one of the big issues was the internationality, so to speak, of setting up our nonprofit in the U.S. and having it be an international project, because our project is an international project. And one of the things that came to into my mind today about the internationally part of our project had to do with the current. I was just, talking about the current and how, and I've been complaining about the current here. Well, a lot of this current has to do with the current that is right out there. It's only 40 miles out there at this point. And it's, they call it the Gulf Stream around here. Well, it's actually a big Atlantic current that goes around and around, and it takes all the heat, from down it actually, apparently, I wasn't really totally aware of this, but it actually comes from kind of down off of Africa and comes up this way and actually crosses the equator and then zooms up and bangs into Florida, does this little loopy-loopy in the Gulf sort of, and then bangs into Florida and then heads up north, and then all that hot water sinks. And I kind of thought that it headed straight over to Europe, but it actually doesn't. It sinks and gets into this deep spot and comes back as cold water and then does this loop, and it's this huge loop. It's great. It's like, actually, I think, here, I still got a picture up. I still got a picture. Because I was really looking at it because I wanted to, here, check this out, guys. I'll show you. See? Here. There's the Gulf Stream that everybody here in, oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. Thanks, Cheryl. Here we go. Okay, that's a quick fix. Okay, now maybe you guys can see. See, check it out. It's, the red part's warm, of course, and the other part's, cold. And this thing is a huge, huge, huge part of the weather in the whole planet. And again, that's why I'm getting to this, because our project has to do with our whole planet. That's what we believe in. We believe that the kinds of things that we are going to do, the details that we're going to take care of, the compassion and the love that we're going to put out there in local areas with real actions are going to, in fact, affect the entire planet. Infect the entire planet with goodwill and compassion. That's a good plan. And so the thing about the Gulf Stream is that, like so many other things that the scientists are talking about, it and the data that is what science is based on, and this isn't really data that can be, it's data that you can go out there and measure how fast this current flows, and it is slowing down. And it's slowing down remarkably quickly, comparatively speaking to all of the other historical slowdowns that they have, tried to research and tried to tag and said what, caused the little ice age in Europe and stuff like that. And so what I reckon is that part of our whole thing is that we're going to be international. So I'm very excited about this offer of setting up our nonprofit as a U.S.-based yet international nonprofit, because one of the things that we're going to do internationally, whoops, along with discuss climate change and currents and sailing all over and the changes in our ocean and all of that, is we are going to internationally promote getting along with each other. Yay for us! Okay, now I'm starting to get excited. We got the peace flag back out. It always kind of gets me going. I have to talk louder because the wind is blowing. The peace flag is flapping. Maybe that's what gets me all excited. Okay, here we go. Great. All right, we swung around. The tide's starting to come back in now, so now we're abeam of it. We're going to have a really strong north wind on Monday. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Whenever we set it like this, it gets hung up on the boom. There's always something with sailing. There we go. An international project based here in the USA, but it's going all over the world. Yay, that's us in wooden schooners. That is our dream. And that is what we are going to pull off. Because we are now close to getting into the position where we can start filing for grants, which is a whole different project than trying to crowdfund everything. And as I said, from the very, very beginning, I've always wanted this thing to be its own deal. And then the crowdfunding was all going to fund all the gear that we were going to take to the Bahamas, or all the shovels that we were going to take to build silt fences, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. So this is what is very exciting about today's Cassiopeia Project Report news. Yay for us. And let's see, and guess what else? Just for me personally, something really cool is happening, is the Coral Bay connection that is what has created this whole thing. So much gratitude to Coral Bay. So much gratitude to Coral Bay. Dave and Cindy, who've given us all this stuff there from Coral Bay. Shaggy's from Coral Bay. Jonathan's from Coral Bay. I mean, so many people involved in this are from Coral Bay. Bob Tiz is going to come visit me with Shaggy, who sailed with us from Savannah to St. Augustine. And so they're going to come visit next week. Yay, Coral Bay connection. And speaking of that, I went and saw an absolutely beautiful Alden yawl that Jeannie owns. And she's getting it all ready to get it back to Coral Bay. And so she's going to launch in a couple of weeks. And then what she's going to do is something that's kind of clever, I have to say. She's going to put it on a boat, and it's going to get shipped to Coral Bay. What a deal. We're going to sail this one there because she can do it, and she's going to go. It's going to be, you know, straight up. And so I'm excited about that sail, by the way. And I can't wait to invite some of you guys along, and some of the Coral Bay crew, because they are going to be around and coming to join us. Okay, what else do we got here? That was pretty much it. So anyway, back to the point that I started to make about the core group of this gang who have been involved in aid in many, many different islands and in many, many different ways. I really do believe it's going to be a big part of why our thing works in a unique way. How our thing can add to what's going on in other places. I posted this great gang that are sailing this amazing boat on my Facebook page, so you guys should check it out if you hadn't. It's an incredible project, and they're on Yahoo and getting funded and all that sort of thing. And they're just basically documenting and showing everybody everywhere they go that is so beautiful and amazing, and just getting people in touch with our lovely planet. So yay for them. Go, guys. And I'm hoping that we with them and do things with them as well. So, tonight, I'm going to go back. I'm going to stand here out of the wind and just give you guys this view. And go back to that thing about having a moment. That flag's not really doing so good in this wind. I think you might have to watch me take it down. I don't think you've ever seen me take it down. I only do that after you guys are gone. Strike the colors, sir. All right then. We'll save them for peace yet another day. I've been talking to Jeannie. Jeannie's just having her motor kind of fixed up as well. And Jesse's coming next week with our transmission. And so I cannot wait. I am so excited for how that's going to happen, because then this vessel is going to, it's going to make such a huge difference in her safety factor, and the fact that, like I say, we can motor her over there, or we could actually motor down the ditch if we wanted and go be somewhere else. We could actually motor around and maybe even do things just motoring around. Who knows? Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just give up and go, okay, I got a motor. We can go to the Bahamas. Let's go. Give me 5 tons worth of junk to take to the Bahamas to help those people, and we'll just motor over there. Maybe that'll be the test run for the motor. Who knows? But anyway, this vessel, like most vessels, has a tradition. And every skipper worth his salt is superstitious about said traditions. And aboard the good ship Cassiopeia, we have a tradition that we do every single time we get underway, and we are underway right now towards an amazing destiny for this vessel. So it goes like this. It goes, here's to the good ship Cassiopeia. Hip hip, hooray! And to her stalwart crew. Something really amazing is going to happen on the business end of things, and that is going to that's going to do it. Yay for the crew, coming together from everywhere. Hip hip, hooray! And a good old Neptune, brother. We're coming, and we're coming for a good reason. Woohoo! Keep us safe. Hip hip, hooray! All right, guys. I could tell you. Well, I'll tell you something about. I'll tell you a story then. Okay, a quick story. And it has to do with everything. Everything. It has to do with Cyclone Pam. It has to do with Cyclone Pam coming through Vanuatu, the biggest storm ever recorded in the history of the South Pacific. And it wiped the place clean, just wiped it. Like worse than anything you've ever seen from anywhere, pretty much. There was entire islands where there was hardly a tree standing. And what happened there was, immediately, tons of aid started coming in. And I wound up doing a video about it, because all the aid got stuck at the airports because of paperwork and this and that and the other. And this is what I mean about who we've got involved with our project. What happened there was that the local business owners, the lumber yard and the trucking companies, all got together around what was a volunteer ambulance service that was put together. It wasn't actually volunteers, but it was funded by the community. It was nonprofit, all that sort of thing. And they had created this ambulance system that worked really well. They were the best doctors in Vanuatu. And they realized that if we didn't start getting water to the villages as quickly as possible, then it was really going to escalate. The illness because all the water was tainted. And that is what my buddy's project was all about water, hygiene, etc. And he was trying to get this whole nonprofit set up for creating all of that so that there was a better water supply, cleaner water, all of that. Well, after Cyclone Pam, there was no water. All the water was polluted. All the water was bad. And so all these NGOs are in there, and everything's sitting around the airport, and they're all filling out forms, and it has literally been 1 week. It's been 1 week, and nothing has happened. It was tragic, really. And what did happen was that this ambulance service became the hub because they were going out. They were going out to places and trying to help. And when they were doing it, they were taking water, and they started taking some supplies. And they actually got threatened by the government, because the government was in charge of distributing all the aid and all that sort of stuff. And they got in trouble with the government, threatened with deportation, for taking supplies with them when they were going out to help, patch cuts and stuff. Because everybody, that's the other thing after a cyclone, everybody's all cut up from all the tin and all the nails and all the everything. And so, one of the things you need after a cyclone is a zillion Band-Aids. So they were going out and patching little cuts and things like that to keep them from getting infected. And meanwhile, they'd carry, half a dozen cans of tuna fish and some rice, and they got in trouble for it. And man, that caused this whole huge row. And eventually, the government gave up because all the timber yard trucks came, and these are the people who know how to do things, right? They're the people who live there. They know where the bad roads are. They know where the bridge is out. They know, like the other guys who came in and rented trucks and stuff, they didn't really know. They weren't from there, And so the private sector in Vanuatu responded to this cyclone in a manner that was absolutely unbelievable. They saved hundreds of lives by simply providing clean water. Zillions of expats got in their trucks. We were washing buckets. Everybody, just 5-gallon buckets. Any 5-gallon bucket you got that you can fill up with water, we'll take it out to the villages. It was fantastic. And so that kind of effort is the kind of effort that I believe that we are going to incorporate at the very heart of all of our responses, of all of our actions, of all of our ways of going about things. We are not going to go somewhere pretending that we know everything, that we know where the bridges are out, that we know this, that we know that. We're going to go there and we are going to exchange with the people wherever we are about what they actually need and what can actually happen. So there you go. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, you can look up a video called Cyclone Pam, or one of them. And there's this really touching interview. I interviewed a bunch of people, and there was a really touching interview with one of the EMT drivers that was involved in that situation. Anyway, okay, so that's us. I'm so excited by today's little tidbit. I don't want to spoil it by saying too much or anything, but I really think it might happen, and that could be whoa man, yay for us. So okay, we're closer and closer and closer to being real. Please keep sharing, please keep following. I'm going to keep trying to shift this thing to YouTube so that we can figure out how to make it grow. Cast your net wider. Everybody's been telling me, cast your net wider. Okay, we'll go to YouTube and start throwing nets to catch compassionate human beings instead of fish and turtles. All right, guys, love you. I'll talk to you again tomorrow, and I'm very excited about the upcoming week. See ya.